everyone, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing good this morning. So we're going to be looking at what's happening in the tropics, and as you would have seen from the title or the thumbnail, an active pattern is coming. So there are signs of tropical activity resuming as we're going to be heading into even later this week, headed into next week. So we're going to be taking a look at what is going on, kickstarting things with the satellite imagery. So here we can see that there is a frontal system offshore the United States, and we've got some activity out there in the main development region. So there's some disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with tropical waves, and a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms across parts of the Caribbean. At a closer view, here we can see, so for areas such as Central America, especially towards Belize, the Keys as well, there is some activity around. So it has been pretty active there, no surprises. And as we take a look at the rainfall forecast for today, so we're going to go to this, and then we'll be talking more in the realm of tropical development. So let's go on to the rainfall forecast. Here we can see it from Euro. So we can see that this map is looking quite colorful towards Central America. As I said, it's been active there, so there's likely to be some additional shower and thunderstorm activity as well. Also in the South Caribbean for the islands of San Andres and Providencia, towards Colombia, a few spots in Venezuela and the Guyanas. ABC Islands may not experience much rainfall at all today. Same thing for parts of Trinidad, although for some areas there could be some downpours or even thunderstorms. And then headed through much of the rest of the Windward Islands, Barbados, headed to Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, the Grenadines. Even for a few spots in Grenada, there could be some downpours today. But further north, headed to the Leeward Islands, Dominica, northward through Anguilla. And also for the Virgin Islands, not seeing much color around, indicating that there may not be much rainfall, maybe a passing shower at the most. And then for Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, which comprises Haiti and the Dominican Republic, a couple spots in Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, there could be some showers and thunderstorms, especially as we head into this afternoon. Similar story for the Bahamas as well as Turks and Caicos Islands. And we can also see that Florida's a bit colorful up there, so there could be some heavy downpours as well. Now, speaking more in terms of the realm of development, as I was saying, things are going to be resuming in the tropics. First, we're going to be looking at the models and what they're showing. So, for example, this goes a bit far out with GFS. This is the Tuesday, the 10th of September. We can see all of that moisture and that airflow pressure in the northwestern Caribbean, another system approaching the Lesser Antilles around that time. So the GFS model has been hinting at development even before that time, actually. And then as we head to the Euro model for next week, though, next Wednesday, the 4th of September, it is showing that there's likely to be the tropical wave, likely the one that is currently just off of Africa, making its way to the Caribbean by that time, potentially trying to get itself together. And then the Icon model is also hinting at something by the end of this week. So we have these models here suggesting that we could see development of that most recent tropical wave to move off of the African coast. And this is a look at the surface chart. So we can see both of the axes of the tropical waves out there. The most recent one to come off Africa, that was the big blob that we saw a couple days ago. And then another one is approaching the Caribbean. One is emerging in the Eastern Pacific. And when they move past Central America, that's also one of the huge sources of rainfall for the area. So we've got a couple tropical waves out there, and we especially want to keep our eyes on the one to just come off the African coast. But as it relates to the ensembles, let's go on to that, because there are very strong signals of seeing something as we're going to be heading into the next couple of days. So first we have the Euro Ensemble members, and this goes out to Wednesday, the 4th of September. Here we can see all of these members showing that we could have something headed to the Caribbean or near the Caribbean. So they've been a bit persistent in terms of seeing development by the latter part of this week and headed into next week as well. And we can see that other cluster of members, not as strong a signal, but still seeing some suggestions of something potentially being there. Also for the Gulf of Mexico, again, not a whole lot of members, not a very strong signal. The strongest signal would be for that newest tropical wave as it propagates to the west and potentially takes advantage of the environment. Next, we have the GFS members. Take a look at this. So we have them a little bit more dispersed here, but nonetheless, we are seeing those strong signals as well that we are likely to see something develop within this time frame by the middle part of next week, and we could have a secondary system that could follow behind and try to get itself together just the same. So we have these signals on both of these ensemble maps here from both GFS and Euro. And the ensembles are sometimes a lot more accurate in terms of the seeing when we could potentially have development based on the fact that we have a lot of them available for a particular time, showing something trying to get itself together, and there is some consistency. So we want to really watch for that consistency this week, and if it really looks as though the tropical wave is going to be getting itself together, then eventually we're going to see the area being marked by the National Hurricane Center as an area to watch. But things have been on the quiet side for the month of August. Why is that so? Let's go ahead and take a look at this map here. So we are seeing the Saharan air layer map right here, and this is showing all the dry air. So as we head more to those shades of oranges, reds, pinks, that is indicating all of the dry air. Now there is a reduction in the dry air, especially compared to the past couple of days. There is a reduction, and once these tropical waves continue propagating to the west and make their way into a more moist environment, then that is going to be helping out with development. Of course, there are other factors such as the upper level winds, because if upper level winds are strong, that's going to interfere with development. When they're not so strong, when they're on the weaker side, then we'll tend to see some more development take place. So as these tropical waves pass as well, they do help out to decrease the amount of dry air in the environment, and that kind of paves the way for future tropical waves, because these current ones, even though they may struggle or they may not develop, they'll increase the moisture content in the atmosphere, and that's going to create a better environment for future tropical waves to try to take advantage of to develop into tropical storms or hurricanes. But as I said, there is a reduction in the dry air, and also for the Caribbean and even the Gulf, take a look at that. Almost vacant of any significant dry air at all. So that's not a huge problem right now within the region, but we definitely want to keep our eyes on that newest tropical wave that has emerged off the African coast to see what is going to eventually become of it. But again, there are those signals that we could see development. But of course, guys, I'm here to keep you updated as per usual. And just quickly going over to the Pacific as well. So we still have Hurricane Gilma over there. Gilma has even rapidly intensified the other day up to a Cat 4, but now it's back down to a Cat 2. And then behind it is Tropical Storm Hector. So that was the previous disturbance there that had a high chance to develop. So that developed into Tropical Storm Hector. And in terms of Gilma is going to be weakening over the coming days, and whatever is left of it may make its way towards the Hawaiian Islands as we're going to be heading into the end of this week, probably by Friday or so. So it's still out there as a hurricane, and thankfully it's going to be weakening, because the hurricane conditions can be very, very dangerous. But if it's just going to be moving by with some rainfall, even though at times that may even pose a problem and result in some flash flooding, it is unlikely to be anything very, very significant. And so guys, that's it, as I said, for right now, and I do hope you found this update to be informative. But if you do have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get to you when I have the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.